You've watched your child go from 0 to meltdown, 10 seconds flat. You've tried the deep breathing, you've done the calm corner, you've done wait lists, and you probably waited out reading 3 books along this last meltdown or tantrum, but nothing seems to hold for very long. But what if our kids are mirroring our nervous system? No, we don't maybe have the big meltdowns or we have the big temper tantrums, but we could be dysregulated too. And it's not always about what we say or which parenting strategy we choose. Sometimes it's really simply it's the physiology. And when you're sitting here running on caffeine, broken sleep, and 3 years of being stuck in survival mode yourself, your child feels it before you said a single thing to them. Their heart rate, their breathing rate, and their stress hormones, they calibrate with yours every second of the day. Now, this isn't about blaming parents. It's hard enough to be a parent. This is simply just saying this is the biology, the kind of biology no one warned you about in any of those parenting books you read. And once we understand what's really happening between your nervous system and theirs, everything starts to shift, not just for your child, but for your entire family. Because the real secret to your child's regulation, it's not another therapy, another evaluation, or another medication. It's actually sitting right in the same room with them right now. So today's video is for parents who you're doing all the right things and maybe you're doing them in the right order and you still feel like every time you go to a dinner or a drop-off or bedtime, you are white-knuckling it through that experience. And you're finally really ready to look at the missing piece that no one else has necessarily been brave enough to put on the table for us. So today we're talking about why the nervous system is the foundation for the child's behavior, but it's your nervous system that's their foundation, and what co-regulation really is and why it's biological and not behavioral. And then a lot of times, if you watch any of our stuff about the perfect storm, we talk a lot about these kids, but what we have to also mention is that the perfect storm shaped your nervous system first, parents, before it shaped your child's. And why scanning and adjusting the whole family may be that piece that changes the entire dynamic for you at home. So parents, what you have to know is nearly 1 in 5 children today has a mental, emotional, or a behavioral condition. But what most clinical conversations miss completely tells us when we look at those studies on co-regulation, they show us that there is a tangible link between the parent's nervous system as the template for their child. We sync our breathing rate, our muscle tension, and even our heart rate variability with our kids. Now, we see this in practice all the time. Several weeks into care, we may be getting some tangible changes, less meltdowns, better behavior, some changes that parents are really excited about, but they are still looking for that big breakthrough for their child. And when we suggest that maybe mom and dad get their assessments done as well and do those scans, we often see the same scan we saw on their child is the exact same one that the parent presents with. And you might be wondering, well, why is that? And it's because co-regulation is biological, not behavioral. Your child's brain is wired to mirror yours through what's called a mirror neuron. That means their breathing, their heart rate, and their stress response is syncing with yours in real time. When you're regulated, their body actually learns the pathway back to calm during its moments of fight or flight. But if you're stuck in fight or flight and you're stuck in sympathetic dominance, then their system is going to lock arms with yours and do the exact same thing. This is an automatic process. This is not something that's optional. It's simply how the human brain is built and develops. So we talk about the perfect storm a ton with our kiddos. The same perfect storm that we talk about for your child shaped you first. Prenatal stress, birth trauma, surgeries, and years of that fight or flight go mode leaves us as parents with our own neurological footprint. And when we add in chronic sympathetic dominance, it quietly becomes the new baseline that you don't notice because you're so focused on your child. A nervous system that's stuck in overdrive doesn't have the ability to model calm no matter how hard you're trying, because your unprocessed stress is being downloaded into their nervous system every single day. So we talk about calm being the best therapy. Heart rate variability between regulated parents and kids synchronizes. The steady breathing becomes a template that their brainstem can copy on its pathway back to calm. Your hand on their shoulder, the slower breathing, a softer tone. These things speak louder to your children than your words do. We need to talk less. We need to be more present. And the reason that is because when kids are going through these meltdowns and they're having these big emotional breaks, the language portion of their brain goes offline and they're not able to communicate with us in the first place. So your regulation in those moments is the roadmap for your child to find its way back to a calm state. So we talked about the whole family in the beginning, talked about those scans and how important it is. And the reason that is because those scans measure exactly how each nervous system in the home is functioning. When we look at heart rate variability, when we look at neurospinal tension, and we look at those inflammatory patterns for everyone in the home, we see these things sync up and they're so similar, it's almost scary. Gentle adjustments to those nervous systems restore vagal tone and they release the stored physical tension throughout the entire family, which starts to break down those patterns. Now, parents always want to know tangibly, what do I see at home? Well, what we hear from parents is the siblings, they stop triggering each other all the time. Bedtimes become easier. And mornings, getting the kids out of bed and on the go, they're less like a battle zone and there's way more harmony because the family that heals together has a nervous system that is connected together in the most positive way possible. What this really boils down to is parents, you cannot pour calm into your child from your own empty cup. Your child doesn't need more strategies. They need a regulated nervous system in the room to model after, and it starts with us. At Pure Chiropractic in Livonia, our team scans the whole family because co-regulation, it's biology, it's not behavior. We're not replacing what you're already doing. We want to unlock it. So if you're ready to stop white knuckling this parenthood journey and you want to start healing together with your child, showing them the way, click the link in our bio, send us a DM, or book through the description in this video. Your family deserves hope and your family deserves help. Parents, let's get you going today. We'll see you soon.